Hello everyone. In part first video, we have already studied what is the living and how the living world, and we already started this lesson with the introduction. In this part second video, we will study about the unique features and the unique characteristics of the all living organism and also what is the living. Actually, when we try to define the living, we conventionally we conventionally look for the distinct characteristics which is exhibited by the living organism. In last video and the part first video, I already told you that how the characteristics of the living things like the reproduction is there, metabolism, growth and development, made up of cells, different levels of the organization. These are all the unique features of the living organism. So let's try to understand each of these. So we will start first in the unique features of the living organism is the growth. Correct. If we talk about the growth here, growth means you know that what is the growth now? Growth means increase in the mass and the number. That is the growth. That means living organisms grow in mass and number. I am talking about both plant and the animals here. So all living organisms grow. That increase in the mass and increase in the number of individuals are twin characteristics of the growth. If we talk about the multicellular organism, some are unicellular organism. So multicellular organism grows by the cell division. If we talk about the plants, in plants, this growth by cell division occurs continuously throughout the lifespan. But if we talk about the animals, this growth is seen only up to certain age. However, cell division occurs in the certain tissues to replace lost cells. Then there is a unicellular organism. What is happening in the unicellular organism? They also grow by cell division. One can easily observe this in vitro cultures by simply counting the number of the cells under the microscope. It is the best way to observe the growth of the unicellular organism under the microscope. Okay, so in the majority of the higher animals and the plants, growth and the reproduction are mutually exclusive events. One must remember that the increase in the body mass is considered as the growth, and the non-living objects, okay, non-living objects are also there, but these non-living objects also grow if we take increase in the body mass for the growth. Like the mountains are there, sand mounds do grow. However, this kind of the growth is exhibited by the non-living objects is by accumulation of the materials. Okay, what happened in the non-living organisms growth? Whatever the accumulation of the material is there on the surface. But instead of in the living organisms, growth is from inside. Therefore, under which it can be observed in all living organisms, how to explain, and then we considered that it is the characteristics of the living organism. And a dead organism does not grow. So this is the one characteristics of the living organism, that all organisms grow in mass and the number. In short, second characteristic of the of the living organism is reproduction. Likewise, is a characteristic of a living organism. Here also some multicellular organisms are there, unicellular organisms are there. Also, if we talk about the reproduction now, you know that reproduction is having the two types, asexual and the sexual. In the sexual reproduction, what happened? Parents are involved, two parents are involved to produce the more or the less similar kinds of the individuals. Whereas in the asexual reproduction, single parent is involved and the individual is a copy of the parent, which is called a clone in the asexual mode of reproduction. So, reproduction, it is the formation of the new individual of the similar kind. Actually, reproduction is not essential for the survival of the individuals, but it is required for the population, for the continuity of life. That is most important. अगर आप 12th में जाओगे तो आपका फर्स्ट यूनिट है reproduction. In that you will study all about the reproduction, how the sexual kind of reproduction is there, how the asexual kind of reproduction is there, and why the reproduction is necessary. So the reproduction is necessary for the continuity of life. Okay, so in the multicellular organisms, reproduction refers to the production of the progeny possessing feature more or the less similar to those of parents. And we refer to the sexual reproduction. The organism reproduce by the asexual means also. Like the fungi multiply and spread easily due to the millions of the asexual spores they reproduce. And in the lower organism, like your yeast is there, hydra is there, we observe the budding. Okay, these are all the modes of the reproduction in the asexual type. We have already defined growth as equivalent to increase in the cell number or the mass. Hence, we notice that in single-celled organism, we are not very clear about the use of these two terms, like the growth and the reproduction. So further are many organisms which do not reproduce. Okay, there are so many organisms are there which not able to reproduce. Like sterile worker bees are there, infertile human couples do not reproduce. So therefore the reproduction is not an all inclusive characteristic of the living organism. However, no non-living objects has the power to reproduce or to replicate. This is very important and the second characteristic of the reproduction. The third characteristic of the reproduction is the metabolism. Now, with the help of this image, you have an idea about the metabolism now. Correct? So, the another characteristic of life is metabolism. Actually, all living organisms are made of the chemicals, and these chemicals may be small and big, belonging to the various classes, size, functions, etc. So, are constantly being made and changed into the some other biomolecules. Biomolecules include your protein, carbohydrate, fats, oils. These are all the biomolecules, and these conversion are chemical reaction or the metabolic reactions. So there are thousands of the metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all the living organisms. Be they unicellular or the multicellular, that is not the point. But actually continuously there is a changes are occur inside our body also, and all the in all the living organisms also. Like all plants, animals, fungi and the microbes exhibit the metabolism. There are two types of the metabolism again, catabolism and the anabolism. Now what is the catabolism and the anabolism here? Anabolism includes all the building of the reactions to increase the mass of the organism like the photosynthesis. Whereas in catabolism, there is a breakdown reactions are involved, such as the respiration is there, digestion is there. So अगर देखा होगा कि मेटाबॉलिज्म में क्या क्या होता है, एनाबोलिज्म क्या करता है, एनाबोलिज्म बिल्डिंग अप करेगा, all reactions build करेगा, whereas catabolism will break down all the reactions. That means ये जो reactions जो हो रहे हैं, जो simultaneously all living organism में होते हैं, of course the non-living objects do not show the metabolism or the catabolism and the anabolism. So that's why the metabolism is also the unique characteristic of the living organism. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organism, without expectation or without exception, isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living things but surely living reactions. So hence the cellular organization of the body is defining feature of the life forms. In the next video, we will see the further characteristic of the metabolism. Thank you so much.